to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Live from Houston, Texas, a man who calls it like he sees it, without the normal political correctness you may have grown comfortable with. It's time for the Texas Perspective on current news and events. This show is not for the faint of heart or easily offended. Clear your desk, get your number 2 pencil ready. The Inquisition is about to begin.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
If you have questions, please refer them to the chat room and make them good.
Go ahead, make my day.
The doctor is in, and he will see you now.
Well, I guess we better get on with it.
We're going to go ahead and get started with Martin Etwop. And so Martin is running for Congress. And as you know, there's been redistricting done. And now Dan Crenshaw has kind of taken over this area, and he's having a rerun for that seat with a whole new group of people. And Martin Etwop felt it necessary to at least challenge him. And so I'm glad to welcome you to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
So move a little closer. There we are. And so, Martin, first question, why did you decide to run for this seat?
No, I decided to run because, we found out we're having a third born in December of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it occurred to me, our country is going out of whack. It was just getting so messy. The people asking for socialism, spending like there's no end. And I'm like, my son is about to be born and it seems like nobody cares about him. So I decided, I'm going to run to fight for my son. So I'm doing this selfishly, to fight for my kids. Because I was raised in a really terrible country and seeing America try to go to that same direction.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Where are you from?
I live in Conroe, but I'm originally from Uganda.
From Uganda,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Well, the government in Uganda is legendary.
Yeah, we all know about that.
Yeah, so I could see why you wanted to move to the United States. How long have you been here?
I've been coming to 16 years now.
16, okay. Yes. And so you've had a chance to see what a dictatorship looks like firsthand growing up.
Yes, sir, I have. And it's not anything that anyone would want to do. And I've lived the freedom in America, the freedom that everybody ought to live. And I've seen we are starting to drift toward the direction where I came from. And, we talk about the American dream, but it's when we are excited about dreaming, but then we forget about our kids' dreams. We are not letting them even the chance to start dreaming because we are accepting all this nonsense, critical race theory. We're accepting out of control spending.
Now we should talk about critical race theory. Just for, some people don't know what that is, and what that is reverse racism, so to speak, where we teach that whiteness is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, and blackness is good, and that's not just blackness, but people of any darker skin color than white.
Yes.
I guess I'm probably a pretty white guy, but. Yeah, but you don't think that's a good idea. You think critical race theory is bad.
No, critical race theory is teaching hate in terms of teaching and claiming it to be teaching the history of America. Critical race theory is taking one child and telling them, your best friend is your problem, is your enemy.
Oh,
he's in second grade with you, he's in kindergarten with you. You play together, but just so you know, I'm letting you know. Johnny is your enemy from now on. He's always been your enemy even before you were born. I mean, Johnny is only 6, but he's always been your enemy. He's now your enemy and is forever going to be your enemy. That's what critical race theory is all about.
Yeah, and personally, my hashtag is abolish public school because then we would solve that whole problem.
Yeah, then we'd stop teaching hate.
But so that's a problem. So you're against that. So you're running for Congress.
Yes, sir.
You've been here in the United States for 16 years. And what do you do? What is your day job, so to speak?
So actually right now I'm finishing law school. I have 3 more months to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I decided to run, I was working with a judge in Harris County, labor judge to be clear.
Okay.
So and I was like, I need to focus on law school and focus on the race. I can't go to work and then go to law school and be a father to 3 kids and run for Congress.
Yeah,
so right now I'm just focusing on the kids, finishing law school and running for this office.
Well, obviously, if you got 3 months of school left, we'd probably want to get that out of the way before your term would even start.
Yes.
What made you decide to go into law?
Now that takes us back to Uganda, because when in Uganda it's such a bad place but the only people who seem to have a say sometimes were attorneys. So growing up, I was like, if you want to have a say, you need to be a lawyer, because the dictators sort of kind of listen to attorneys. But of course, I didn't get to law school in Uganda. So a few years ago, my now 8-year-old, she was 4 then, she asked me, Daddy, because I was working at Tesla. She's like, you really love what you're doing. And she's like, I want to be an artist when I grow up. And then she's like, is this what you always wanted to do? Work at Tesla? I'm like, let me get back to you on that, baby. So the following day, I went and signed up for the LSAT. And because I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Well, it's nice that you were inspired by that. And of course, I want to go back to your earlier statement, doing it for the kids, because I completely understand. My grandchildren did not get a vote. My children are all grown now, so they're charting their own course. But my grandchildren did not get a vote. Mm-hmm. And I've got 10 of them, and I'm extremely concerned about the world that we're handing them. But I also have to say, with you about to become a lawyer, I believe that the law in the United States is mostly dead, null and void now, because I don't see any kind of law enforcement, particularly here in Harris County. Now, you're in Montgomery County. That's a little better.
And I go to school in Harris County.
Well, it's terrible down here what they've done. And right now we've got hardened criminals, murderers, drug dealers, lifelong criminals, and they get arrested for something. They go in and the judge releases them with no bail. Mm-hmm. So they're not being penalized in any way, and then they go out and commit more crimes, and then once again they go back in and the judge looks at them and says, I told you not to do that. You better not do it again, and then he lets them go. I don't see any law in America. In America today, I see, for instance, 200 plus American citizens currently being held in jail in Washington, D.C. with no charges filed. That's complete violation of what we used to believe was the law. So I guess my question is, I guess you can be a lawyer, but if there is no law in America, if the judicial system is utterly corrupt, maybe you're better off running for Congress.
That is starting with the January 6th. The Constitution says everybody has due process of the law. Yeah,
and it also says we have the right to seek redress from government, exactly. Which is what we were doing on January 6th. Exactly. I was there. That was why I was there.
Yeah, and so you are trying to do what the Constitution provides for you to do, and you're being arrested for that, and you're being...
Well, Ted Cruz says I'm an insurrectionist.
Ted Cruz, I don't know why he would say something like that, especially being a constitutional lawyer.
Yeah, I know, but he says I'm an insurrectionist now, and that was one of the most horrible things in our history.
He said terrorist, actually.
Yeah, he did call me a terrorist, discounting the fact that we've had people that have actually bombed the Senate offices in Washington, causing great physical damage and some physical harm. Mm-hmm. And yet what happened on January 6th, which was a peaceful protest, except for the people that Nancy Pelosi paid to be there, other than that, it was a peaceful protest and nobody got hurt. The alleged 6 people that died, I put up on my Facebook page the other day, some of my friends are investigative journalists, and we've proven that every one of them were killed by the Capitol Police. All 6 of them. So, maybe the one guy wasn't killed by the Capitol Police, but he had a heart attack, and of course he had previous heart defects. And we think the combination of the tear gas they were dropping on us plus the other events may have pushed him over the edge. So, anyway, you look at it, but so you're running for Congress.
Yes.
And you're going to be one of 450 some people up there.
Yes.
Can you make a difference?
Yes, I can. and this is how I can make a difference. Number one is, it feels to me like Republicans. Let me say that.
And I'm a Republican precinct chair, but I'm not entirely in love with the Republican Party. Let me just say that right now.
Republicans, I don't know, they are so afraid to be called racists.
Yes.
They're so afraid to be called bigots. And they're so afraid to be called intolerant.
I just keep hoping my black friends don't find out what a racist I really am, because then they wouldn't want to be my friend anymore, and I would hate that.
Exactly. But that is why I come in this. Because I'll be like, hey, number one, I'm married to a white woman.
Okay.
And I have mixed race kids. And you want to call me racist? Go ahead. And tell the other Republicans, guess what?
Well, the common leftist view is that black people can't be racist and white people are incorrigibly racist. I mean, getting back to critical race theory again.
That is racism itself.
It is racism itself. And see, I really don't care. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what language your grandfather spoke. If you love the mighty God in Christ, Yeshua, a.k.a. Jesus, if you came here to be an American and you want to support the Constitution of the United States, we're friends. So we're family. Yes, it's going to be all good.
Yes. And that is what America was supposed to be that way. That's when you see Lady Liberty, she is saying, we are for liberty. We are one people.
Well, we were.
We were one people. And that's why I'm saying I can bring a change in Congress, because I will stand and tell people like AOC, this is not the America that you are not the definition of America. I am the American dream. I am America. I'm telling the Republicans, you can start using your voice again to speak. We can't be letting somebody determine what you say, how you say it. But we're too afraid to do that. And that is what bugs me.
Well, I'm all about free speech. Even if you're a hardcore lefty, I'm willing to give you your chance to speak. And then I might ask you to defend that. Yeah. But you certainly should not be silenced. But see, they want to silence me. In fact, yesterday, YouTube shut down my main channel for 2 weeks because I said something offensive to them. I was interviewing a candidate for governor in Massachusetts, and she mentioned some things she would do as soon as she got elected, and YouTube thought that was bad stuff. So, well, we got a short amount of time here, and so I want to get to some hardcore stuff.
Yeah, so before you get to hardcore stuff, just one thing. I was telling a friend of mine who's also running for Congress, I said, when I go to Congress, the first thing I'm going to do is get the Constitution and read it page to page, like from beginning to end, to everybody in America who's watching and to the members of Congress.
Well, you can do that on C-SPAN, and that'll only take about 2 hours. It's just that long.
It feels to me like the Congress people do not read the Constitution.
Oh, Jesus. I know it's true.
So that is why I need to go read it to them.
No, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Hello, Vern. Nice to see you joining us. Vern's got a new book out, and we'll probably talk about that. And Julie up in New York, good to see you. The emoji queen, she is. Well, the Constitution, in my mind, still is foundational law. And so I want to get to the Constitution. The Second Amendment to the Constitution states, and I'll just go ahead and quote it for you, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. But I've got to remind you, and I'm helping him. I'm leading the witness a little bit, guys. I'm sorry. But in 1934, we passed something called the National Firearms Act. The National Firearms Act is completely repugnant to the Constitution of the United States. What would you do about that, Martin Etwop?
The founding fathers gave us the Second Amendment to defend our liberties, first and foremost, from the federal government.
Yes.
And the state government. So America was founded on the basis that you and I are to be free. And if anybody comes against you, especially the government, you should be able to stand and say, come and take it, like the Russia, not like what, like the in the 1800s when we told when the Texans told.
Oh yeah, you're talking. Yeah. Yes, the beginning or the early part of the Texas War for Independence. Yes.
And so that is
down in Goliad, and that's the Mexicans said we're going to come back and get those cannon we gave you. There's two of them. We're going to come back and get them because we're worried you might use them against us. And that's when they put out the edict, going all the way back to Mola Labe and Thermopylae back in the day. Yeah, that's where it came from.
And
by the way, that didn't go well for the Mexicans.
No, it didn't. And on that same line, when the government is telling you come and you must take a job, you're going to be like, come and make me.
Yeah.
If you exercise your Second Amendment right, tell the government, hey, come and make me. And that is why they're trying to restrict our ownership of guns, because they know if every American is armed, every American who wants to be armed is armed, then they will actually do their jobs, because they will stop arresting parents for speaking in the school board meeting. They will stop sending FBIs because they know we can't knock on that door. Why are we knocking on that door? And the parent is going to say,
come and take it.
Exactly.
Or come and make me. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
That is what the Second Amendment is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Chaplain Gypsy Roberts said, how is the demand from Uganda knows more about the Constitution than our American politicians? Well, it appears to be an unfortunate truth. Well, one of the things that I would challenge you to do, and I challenge everyone that goes to Congress to do this, and that is to write a bill to repeal the National Firearms Act, because it is blatantly unconstitutional. That one particular act has killed more Americans than almost any law ever passed.
Yes.
Because it puts Americans in a position where they can't defend themselves from common thugs or from thugs with badges and guns, as the case may be in some circles. So that's an important deal. We got another problem. You're probably aware of it. Right now, we're bringing in roughly probably 2,000-3,000 new Americans every day across our southern border. I'm using the word loosely, but that's because that's the intent. They want to legalize all of these people and make them voters in the next election. So what are your thoughts about closing the border, Martin Etwop?
The border, I mean, a true sovereignty is how you control your borders. And you can't say we're a sovereign nation when we have a million people coming in a month. We are not a sovereign nation if the government of Mexico and the cartels determine how America is run, then we are a state of Mexico maybe then.
Well, they say that if you want good borders, they're saying you're racist. What do you say to that?
They are thugs. They are criminals who are trying. I mean, that must be I might say that's their business then, because they might be working with the cartels.
Uh-oh.
If they are calling you racist for saying we need to uphold our laws, who would say that unless they're working with the cartel?
Well,
but I came from a country that even though it was messed up, they still had some kind of border issue, like control of the border.
Well, I think Uganda defended their border pretty well.
Every nation does that. And that is the only way you can tell that's America, that's Mexico, that's Canada, by who we can allow and cannot. You know, when I came to this country, I had to pay visa fees, then I had to pay fees for the green card, had to pay fees for the citizenship, and I had to do blood tests, and I had to do TB tests, I had to do like a bunch of medicals, and I had the process was, and they did all these background checks on me to make sure I am someone worthy of being an American.
Well, you should have just went to Mexico. You could have come in for free,
exactly.
And we'd have given you an airline ticket to go where you wanted to go.
Exactly. But so if you're doing it the right way, you are treated like a common criminal. But if you're doing it the criminal way, you're given a hero's welcome. What kind of country does that?
Yeah, well, ask Geronimo if it was important to defend your borders, folks. Yeah, this is a real problem. So you would definitely work toward shutting down the border, building the wall?
I would shut down the border, build the wall, and I would take back the power that Congress gave to the Secretary of Homeland Security and the President and the Attorney General, where they make law by memo.
Yeah, which is blatantly unconstitutional.
It's unconstitutional.
I might add.
But
Yes.
the problem is Congress has decided we don't want to do that. So we let him do whatever. So one of the first things I'm going to do is have us vote on redefining our roles as Congress. Clarifying what's already written down.
Mhm.
You know, I did immigration law for last semester, and the INA book is that thick.
Wow.
But then we have a 3-line memo or 3-page letter from the president or attorney general saying, from now on, we don't prosecute anybody.
Yeah,
That's
just
chicken poop.
that's what we call illegal acts. That's what we
Exactly.
call breaking the law. That would make the attorney general a criminal,
The
I
attorney
believe.
general makes him a criminal. The president makes him a criminal. That means he needs to be impeached for not doing his job. His job is to guarantee the security of the states. That's what the federal government's job is, to guarantee that Texas is protected from invasion by the illegals trying to cross into Texas. So if they're not doing that, they're handing over Texas's security to a bunch of thugs and criminals.
Well, I want to get down to two more things because I'm running out of time here. We have this thing called the income tax, allegedly the 16th Amendment. My personal studies have led me to believe the 16th Amendment was never properly ratified, but that's what they use as a cover for the, quote, voluntary income tax. I see that as very regressive. I would like to see that repealed, and I'd like to see it replaced with the fair tax. Are you familiar with fair tax?
I have signed the fair tax bill. I believe in the consumption tax, where if you don't buy anything, you
pay nothing.
You pay nothing. Not being taxed for going to work, not being taxed to breathe at work.
Yes.
That's what the income tax is. Being punished because you're going to work. Then if someone stays home, they get a free check.
Yeah, what is that?
But if you go to
that
work,
ain't right.
If you go to work, you're like, sorry, man, you're being punished for this. We cannot do that. So yes, I signed the fair tax pledge because I believe that is the fairest. And yes, I also
It's the most equitable way, I think, for the government to get revenue is based on what you buy, not on what you earn.
Exactly. If I buy 10 yachts, I'm gonna pay a tax on 10 yachts.
Well,
if I don't buy
there
anything,
you go. Yeah.
If I don't buy anything, but then
if you buy nothing, if you're living on Social Security, you pay virtually no taxes at all.
Yeah, and then this is I'm also part of that is groceries will not be taxed. If you go buy food like basic necessities, if you go buy water, you won't be taxed for that because you need that to.
Well, that's
live.
fairtax.org.
Yes,
that is their position, not to tax those things. My position is you should pay the same tax on a gallon of milk, a gallon of gas, or a gallon of whiskey. I don't care. You're consuming. You should pay the tax. But I take that position because I've always believed that if you're poor, it's your own damn fault. And I'm poor, and it's my own damn fault. So, Phil Waite, my former sidekick, used to be on the show here. He's chimed in. So, well, let me see. I want to get to this last, most important one. The Supreme Court, somewhere in the Constitution, I've never quite figured it out. I think they found it under the right to privacy, but they said under the right to privacy, you can kill your baby if you want to. I want to know your thoughts on that, Martin Etwop.
You know, they call that the penumbras of
penumbra,
privacy.
Right?
Yes.
Under the shadow of. That's
yes,
right.
They're like it's not
penumbra. See, that's a good P word, you guys.
It's not
I love
anywhere, but it might be there, so it is. Like no,
it's not there.
It's not there, so we're not gonna put something that's not there. Create a word and say it may be there, so it's there. No. That was one of the dumbest decisions the Supreme Court has come out with, and there is no fundamental right. There is no right to an abortion.
Thank you. We're talking with Martin Etwop. That's ETWOP, and he is running for Congress. And I was looking up your website here.
And I'm running against Dan Crenshaw.
And running against damn Crenshaw. Yeah. Now, damn Crenshaw needs to be out of there. I'm sad because I know his parents. I dearly love his parents, but I'm not very happy with their son. What is your website?
MartinEtwop.com.
Okay, because I'm not finding it, so
He doesn't like you.
no, they don't like you. More to the point.
Something like that. Yeah, but you know, it's today the way we are going, our federal government system, whether it's the Supreme Court or the Congress or the president, we've abdicated our roles. Either this is the crazy part. We are taking over state roles, state jobs, trying to do their job, which the state has to be doing. And then our jobs as Congress, as the White House, as the Supreme Court, we're not doing that. We're doing what's not ours. And there's nobody doing our jobs.
Well, I've got the website up there. You guys can see it. That's martinetwop.com. That's ETWOP. And if you like what he's had to say, and quite frankly, just looking here at the chat room, it looks like you do. You guys need to help him out because he's running against a well-financed incumbent. And I guess I should ask you this question because I'd ask it of Dan Crenshaw. If he came on my show before he got elected, but he hasn't come back. Do you think Jesus Christ is an archetype or is he a real person?
Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I came here as a missionary from Uganda to America as a missionary, church plant
It sounds so funny, but it's true. We need missionaries in America. We're hurting over here.
So Jesus is my Lord, my personal Lord and Savior, and he is first priority to me. So this is the hierarchy of things for me. Jesus Christ, then the American people, then the political parties.
Well, guys, I can't argue with that. And to quote another guy in the Bible, I find no fault in this man. So I appreciate you, Martin Etwop, for coming in and taking the hard questions. A lot of guys are afraid to do that. But I can tell you, you are light years ahead of Dan Crenshaw.
Thank you.
So if I could vote in your election, which I can't, but if I could, I would vote for you.
But you can tell your disciples, tell your friends, tell your enemies and frenemies. And so this is, I just learned this thing from somebody recently, the 5-5 plan. You tell 5 people about me, then the 5 people tell 5 other people about me. And then we spread the gospel, spread the message. That's
how it's got to happen, guys.
Take back America.
I appreciate you guys. Remember to like and share, give me thumbs up. I count on that, especially since YouTube is whacking me yet again. And Martin Etwop, thanks for coming in and taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to be right back, guys. We're going to be right back, and we're going to have Bianca Gracia. She's also running for Congress. Be right back on right side of the mic. Don't go away.
Like the sounds of cannons on the horizon, please return with me to the amazing Greene Show, because I like things that go kaboom.